title, let me tell you this. Men and people will fight it out. If you're not wrong, then supplication. Generation. All right. All right.
Greetings. Welcome to the sixth program of Stepping into the Light for 2026 with host Ras Bashai at Bayhill Radio and the Cancari Radio. Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. That's our 200th, is our 207th program since we started first day of 2021. That was our theme song, Exodus by Bob Marley. And I hope by now that you are locked on to the radio. All of you who have a custom listening to this program and those you invited to listen tonight, because we have a special, very interesting guest coming up in a few minutes' time. And we welcome you. I want to say early here that I apologize. We apologize for not being able to bring you that program last week for circumstances beyond the control of the host. Has nothing to do with this. You know, just didn't happen. One of those things. So we are here this week and we are going. Not ready to go. We passed that. We are going. So you have linked up all your friends, families, loved ones, whatnot, and invited them to listen to tonight's program. As we say, Mato Tep to all listening and following this program worldwide. Yes, it's good to be here with you again for another program. Very good to be here with you again. So close to having a program last week, and it just didn't happen for reasons beyond I man control. Anyway, that's how it is. Isis. Always give Isis and thanks and praises. You know, glory. Glory to the word and glory to the song and glory to the power of the Most High. Jah Rastafari. Almighty creator of this universe, and I give thanks for your love, your care, and your guidance throughout the time, and for bringing I here for another program. Keep shining thy light into I path, and I go stepping into the light and onto Mount Zion. Isis, Rastafari. Bliss, blissful be the iris of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie and Her Imperial Majesty Empress Resume Menin. One perfect balance. Blissful be the iris of our ancestors, the Neteru, which walk alongside I always, keeping I feet from slipping and falling, and I hands from pilfering and stealing, and I mouths from slander and idle speaking. Yes, ancestors, keep walking, keep walking. And I call on the goddess Mart and the 42 divine ones from creation to keep all I people, all firmly on the seven basic principles of truth, order, balance, harmony, law, morality, and justice. Give I life over death, light over darkness, mind over matter, and good over evil every time. Ashe, Ashe. Yes, thanks to the owners and the operators of Bayhill Radio and those of Cancari Radio. Without them, we couldn't bring you the program as we are bringing it here to you. And we have brought it to you 206 times before. Thanks to the sponsors of this program. Yes, big up to the sponsors. And thanks to you, of course, the listeners. You're the one who make this program the reality that it is. And keep inviting people to listen. If they can't watch it live, let them go and look at the YouTube several hours after. So yes, we have some happenings tonight. Happenings. First of all, you'll hear a little more about it later on, but today is the full moon. Yes. And what they call one of the rare blood moons. Okay, this one hasn't occurred for about 80 years because of the alignment in the iration, you know? Yes. So what are the happenings tonight? First of all, we look at the weather, and as we speak, as we have this program, as the program is going on right now, we are getting some lovely blessings in this part of St. Vincent here, Campton. Not too heavy, but occasional and good enough for the farmers to smile. Because this is March, this is supposed to be one of the driest times of the year. And for this is the third day, and every day so far we have had some form of blessing, some form of rain, you know. Very good. Speaking to a farmer about an hour ago, one of our hard working farmers, and he says that this is a lovely March. It's a different March than most Marches you have seen so far. You're getting a sprinkling. His farm is about 300, 400 feet above sea level, you know? Yes, in the mountains, York side. He's very pleased and his vegetables are coming well. So farmers are feeling good in that aspect. They need, of course, much more support. And he was speaking of the lack of roads, but we'll get into that later because we have to get through this part as quickly as possible. We have a very interesting guest waiting on us. So yes, that's the weather, and then nothing out of the ordinary is happening. I would invite you and encourage you to go to the Bayhill site and there online, of course, the radio, and they will give you will see the weather report for the day, for the region, and you will get more on that. Visit the Bayhill site. That is what these things are for. Bayhill always give you that weather update, correct weather update, keep you in line in what is happening with you. As far as the climate goes now, in terms of the social climate, people are still happy, very much so, but still very anxious to see things happen faster. And some people are very anxious because you look at the expressions on Facebook and you see some there, not that they are angry, but you know, it's you could understand where they're coming from. I mean, anxious and they've been waiting for 2 decades and a half, and you know, the urge is there to see things happen and to happen in a certain way. You know, sometimes you have to take a little time, but while taking time, you have to be vigilant and make sure that those who are supposed to lead don't take a wrong turn. You know, that they lead properly and they involve the people. They transform the system to involve the people in the decision making. That is where it is, but people are, you know, in that mood and they're happy and they are more creative now. And we have a very creative person who we're going to introduce now to you, who has been writing and playing music for a long time. And in my opinion, and I'm an opinion of others, we have not gotten as yet the level of appreciation love and warmth from the Vincentian public at home. He gets a lot of that when he travels. But he, you know, like most seasoned brethren, always there, never give up. So we'd like to have our brother come forward and introduce himself, and we take it from there. Yes. Greetings, greeting, brother Patrick. Probably not hearing me. Something is not. I'm not connected to him. You'll have to redo that connection, brother Monty. He's not hearing it. I'm joining, but all I'm getting Bayhill outside. Okay. Thing, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing. Not joining. Not joining. Not joining. Yes, 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 yes. We have it now. Good
Yeah,
night. Good night.
good night, greetings.
Yeah, I want to hear a little louder than that, Pat.
Yes, greetings.
Greeting, greeting, greeting. Yes, yes, no public. Sorry for that little hiccup we had there, but we're with you. We always say, and tonight we have a very interesting guest. Vinci 100 plus 100%. You know, let him introduce himself, say who he is, and we'll take it from there. Give us a little of his story. Good forward, my brother.
Yes, greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Kalamari, Emperor Haile Selassie the First of Ethiopia and His Empress Menenai. Greetings, Sylvester the Grenadine. Greetings, world. Well, this is Patrick Jr., the minister, reggae singer, songwriter, producer, musician. Saying, yeah, man,
Yes, my brother. And you're here tonight
farmer, and farmer,
because
and
you're
farmer to
everything.
child,
So yes, go ahead.
and farmer.
Yes, I.
Yeah,
Yes, farmer. Farmer, of course, a farmer. That's why I'm saying that. I just said that our farmers love this weather this March, right? We're
yeah,
going to speak a little bit about all of that tonight. The main reason that our brother is here tonight, of course, is not his first time on this station. He is vital part of Ital Fest, and he will be again by the blessing of the Almighty, be a part of Ital Fest 2026. But tonight he is here because he has now put out some new music, and we would like to introduce that music to Vincentians at home and abroad and everyone else in the diaspora. Very important music, very timely music, and of course after that we'll speak about his farming and other things generally. But you go ahead, my brother, and tell us what this music is about, what inspired you to write it, now and so on, and what do you expect from the people.
Which music is this now, Bishai? This is Calm Yourself, youth man.
Right. Well, first of all, just give us a little brief about your music and then talk about Calm Yourself. We'll play the music after. Yes.
Well, I would love to let the ones and ones know that I have two new projects Outer Road that we are promoting, seeing that was released 2025. Seeing one, the first project was a record called Shingle City Forever EP, which is an 8-track project, and it's tribute to Shingle City, that sports and culture university, Rasta University there in Hospital Road, Bentic Square region that I and I grew up among. So I and I pay tribute in songs to that place and the ones and ones who helped to grow us, see, during those times. Right? And I have a next project now, is entitled that we are really pushing, which is my latest single, Calm Myself Youth Man, which was produced by my brethren, my good brethren in California named Jalite from Isochar Music, and it's distributed by Tough Gong International. Saying? Yeah, so those are the projects that we are working with at the moment.
Beautiful. Now, before we get into the music itself, and we will ask our technical guru to go ahead lining them and make sure he has some track. We play some of the tracks from the Shingle City,
From
but we
from
must
the
really go
EP.
on.
From the EP.
Yes, from the EP. But I just love how you describe Shingle City there. I have never heard anybody describe it in that way, and I couldn't describe it in that way. Although I was at times in the
Yeah.
University of Rastafari, and of course reasoning. That's what it is. And
Yep.
you put out the exact position physically, and
Yeah.
it has produced some of the top footballers this country has seen
And
pass through that
netballers,
area.
right? Netballers, which I remember
Netballers.
Errol Rose and what a big sister Anika and Deidre them was, you know, great netballers as well too, you know.
When you speak formal like that and you say Roy Rose, people want to know who you're talking about, so tell them the other name.
Yeah, the manage, you know. Yeah,
But this program, you have
He
to be
might
well
be the
cultured,
manage.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I. So you put out this EP because of the vibration you get growing up in that area.
Yes,
Is
and
that
I
so?
think that name needs still to be recognized, because there's a lot of youths in different places in the earth that grew up, through Shingle City and thing, So me personally, now that I see that Shingle City is breakdown, I think that
Uh-huh.
a way to keep it alive is
Uh-huh.
by paying tribute to it in record.
Beautiful.
As a
Because
youth,
right
as
now,
a
if
youth,
you could
as
do
a
it
youth
and
who
go,
grew up, as a youth that grew up amongst the brethren them, because I was living too far from the university, not even a minute walk for me to get there.
uh-huh,
That was like my playground. Yeah.
right, yes. And the tune which will come up there now, it's timely. The other track from the brother there, it's timely because of the violence going on, not just in St. Vincent, but in the region related to
Yeah,
gun.
even with the world leaders. them need to calm themselves because I see how them are going, you know. So
Yes.
when the youth them see the adults them behaving, so what think the youth them going to do?
Okay then. Okay then. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know which tune our technician has lined up, but anyone you have lined up in any other, my brother, you could just bring them forward, because tell us exactly what is happening in the tune. If you're ready, and the public hears some of the keys that the players have already.
Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun.
Yes, it's good to know that
Calm yourself,
we have people you
put down your gun.
agitation around.
Calm
Go ahead,
yourself,
my brother.
man, and put down your gun. You shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth, put down your gun.
Yes, we need people like you, and we need talented people.
Every day you get up and you chuck it.
This program could
Boy,
be
one of these days you're gonna
yes,
kick
brother,
the
come
bucket.
forward in the group.
You live by the gun, you'll die by it, and end up in a bottomless pit. Why? Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Calm yourself, youth, put down your gun. Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Don't shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth,
Cannot give up a
put down
sorry
your
will
gun.
overcome all these challenges and
Why didn't you listen to what
right
your mama say?
upgrade technology
Yeah,
so that we could
she told
right
you
in
about
the
this don't running around, shooting up the place. Now you end up like a big disgrace. But joy, calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Calm yourself, your gun. And put down your gun. Don't you shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth. Put up your gun. Calm yourself, man. Well, I see a Syrian kill another Syrian. When I see a Indian kill another Indian. When I see a Chinese man kill another Chinese man. The black man just a kill another one. So I say, calm yourself, you're gone. Ooh, yeah, calm yourself, man, and put down the gun. Calm yourself, youth, put down your gun. Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Don't you shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth, put down your gun. Every day you get up and you chuck it. Boy, one of these days you're gonna kick the bucket. You live by the gun, you'll die by it, and end up in a bottomless pit. Why? Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Calm yourself,
Yeah, that is
put down your gun. Yourself, man, and put down your gun. Don't shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth, put down your gun. Why didn't you listen to what your mama say? Yeah, She told you about this long Ooh, calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Calm yourself, youth. Put down your gun. Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. You shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth. Put down your gun. Every day you get up and chuck it. Boy, one of these days you're gonna kick the bucket. You live by the gun, you'll die by it, and end up in a bottomless pit. Why? Calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Calm yourself, youth. Put down your gun. Yourself, man, and put down your gun. Don't you shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth. Put down your gun. Why didn't you listen to what your mama said? Yeah, when she told you about this long running around, shooting up the place. Now you end up like a big disgrace. But Lord, calm yourself, man, and put down your gun. Calm yourself, youth. Put down your gun. And put down your gun. Don't you shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth. Put down your gun. Yourself, man. Oh. Well, I see a Syrian kill another Syrian. When I see a Indian kill another Indian. When I see a Chinese man kill another Chinese man. The black man just a killing another one. So I say, calm yourself, man. You're gone. Calm yourself, down you go. Calm yourself, you're gone. Don't you shoot your brother down. Calm yourself, youth. Down you go. Calm yourself, man. You're gone. Calm yourself, youth. You go. Calm yourself, man. You're gone. Don't you shoot your brother down.
Well, the message is loud and clear. Calm
Yeah.
yourself, youth man, and put down a gun.
Yes.
And while our good technician gets ready to play a track or two from at least from the
EP.
Shingle City EP, yes, my brother, just reason a little. Monty, when you're ready, you go right ahead. We will just, you travel in public transport. I do travel in public transport. Personally, I am totally disappointed with 98% of the music played in the public transport. I
I
don't know
totally
what is your
agree.
opinion,
I
but I
totally
hardly
agree
hear
with you.
our local reggae artist voice. You would hear local soca because that seems to be the choice of the people. And the beat itself of the soca these days, to me, it ain't saying anything at all. For someone who was around since soca started to now, the music in soca too, I have deteriorated a lot.
Yeah, not
Right?
just the music, the lyrical content as well.
Well, that has pulled the lyrical content right down the road because they're focusing on one. Must be two topics they have in all.
Mm.
That's all. Okay.
Yeah, it's real deteriorated because even sometimes when I take the transportation, man, even the loudness of the music, that is one thing, and we need for the authorities to really pay attention to the loudness of the music, because we're gonna be walking around with a lot of deaf people few more years from now if we continue to be listening to that music on that level. That is one. And like the I say now, the lyrical content of the music them is really garbage, if you ask me. Seeing total garbage. It have nothing uplifting, seeing nothing inspiring, nothing educating. Seeing is just vulgarity. And it seems like that is what the youths them is going for, because that is what being pushed or forced upon them.
Yeah. The brother seems to have problems. I try to. Well, I sent more than one song because I think it's to the but
I
probably
sent
it didn't release. It didn't open up on his.
I
I made
sent
sure I sent. Yeah.
I sent three to
So,
the eye.
excuse me.
I sent three to the eye for the Shingle City on WhatsApp.
Uh huh. Three. Okay. Well, where I am right now, I can't send them to Monty, so I don't know if we, Monty could play this one again, and while he's playing that, you could send the same three you sent to me, send it to the station, Bayhill. Just a click. That possible?
Well, I'm gonna try Bishai.
Yeah, try because we have to try and play one of these things. We have to get this whole technical matter sorted out properly. Working and always working and trying to support that aspect. I'm not giving up. I have to get some meaningful contribution to these two stations, Behil in particular, because this is a station of the future, and we have more things other than just this to portray to the public. Soon there will be a massive program coming up where it will take much more than just once a week to put out what we have to put out. So I'm working on that. Don't want to say too much in the public about that yet, but these are the things that we have to lift up. These are the areas that we have to lift up and make sure that areas and people and institutions that have been neglected in part by the system find their footing in this time and go forward and serve the people how they intend to serve the people right there. Because Behil is a station that has been there for everybody at any time, whether it's sport, culture, whatever the occasion is, wedding, funeral, church, whatever it is, promotion, whatever it is,
I sent them
they
Bishai.
are there all the time. They are there all the time. So it's
Bishai, I sent
businesses
them.
like these that you have to hold on to and help to promote, build it from the ground up. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're gonna do. Yes. So the message there in the tune is put down your gun, youth man. Calm yourself, youth man, and put down your gun. Because when I was growing up in the younger days, and you see a young man with a tool, it used to be a tool for a skill. Carpentry, masonry, he's used a mechanic, vehicle mechanic, agriculture, farming, some farming or something like that, you know, some tool which could take him to a higher level. These days, when you use the word tool, men think of a weapon, a gun. But I'm a tool, that's that kind of thing. And right now, we have more of these so-called tools in the country than the genuine tools we need. That is one of the factors why we are crying out for a shortage of skilled people in this country. Not just skilled people in construction areas, because skills are skills no matter where they come from. Land preparation is a skill, and you can't find people these days to help you prepare land. You can't find people these days with the love and the willingness to work in the land, to
Tell
prepare the
me
land. I
if
think
you're
we have our tunes lined up. Come forward, my brother.
ready. Whoa,
Beautiful.
I'm ready now. Are you ready? So come rock it with I. Rock steady, roots rock reggae with I. Lord, are you ready to give your love a try? Whoa, rocking steady, roots rock reggae with I. Lordy Lord, we don't need no war in the dance. Love to see the massive, them a jump and prance, full joy in themselves to the king's music. Long time I'm unburned the slackness. So are you ready to come rock it with I? Rock steady, roots rock reggae with I. Lord, are you ready to give your love a try? Whoa, rockin' steady, roots rock reggae with I. Lord, when we come a dance, all it off a nice. I love we keep selecting all the people's choice. We keep in this dance the original way. Strip rubber dub we a play. So are you ready to come rock it with I? Rock steady, roots rock reggae with I. Lordy Lord, are you ready to give your love a try? Whoa, rocking steady, roots rock reggae with I. Lord, oh well, are you ready? Whoa, yes. Tell me if you're ready. Whoa. We love to praise Jah in the dance hall, delivering his messages to one and all. The singers and players and instruments, Jah know that we all shall be there. So are you ready to come rock it with I? Rock steady, roots rock reggae with I. Love, are you ready to give your love a try? Boy, rocking steady, roots rock reggae with I. Boy, oh well, are you ready? Whoa, 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 hey, tell me if you're ready. Whoa, I'm ready now. Are you ready to come rock it with I? Rock steady, roots rock reggae with I. Love, are you ready to give your love a try? Boy, rockin' steady, roots rock reggae with I.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Of course, we have another track being lined up all the time, but yes, this one has this one has the skill and the grace of those footballers who most of those footballers who lived in that building. Telling you, yeah, it's smooth. I love the beat, the tempo, and of course the lyrics, and it's two eyes
And,
just
and it
right
will
there.
be and it will be
Too many
from the
people don't
era
in this time do love that pace. They want something that live fast and die young kind of face.
Yes, and like I was saying, that this music is like it will be like of the same era, the original rhythm, because the rhythm is a ancient Jamaican rhythm, and Dennis Brown sing a song on that rhythm too, saying. And this song was really produced by myself and this Jamaican brethren they call Albert Malawi Johnson, better known as Ilawi from Jalove Music with proper Brigadier Jerry. Sing and me and Ilawi work on this one together, and do my recordings in different places and send it to Jamaica and got it mixed and you know release it, and now
Yeah.
it's on the EP again. So yeah, are you ready? Roots and
Yeah.
culture.
Big up to all who put the effort in this music.
Your love is a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling. Oh, it's so natural. True love is all I need from you, Jah. All I need from you. All I need from you. True loving. Make my dreams come true. Make my dreams come true. When you rise me every early morning, I just can't resist the feeling. Only you can give joy. That's why I will always serve you. Could never put no one above you. Heavenly Father, it's true. You know it's true. True loving is all I need from you, Jah. All I need from you. All I need from you. True loving. Make my dreams come true. Make my dreams come true. Thank you, Jah, for always being there. I can see how much you really care. Your love is everlasting. I appreciate love the things you do. Nothing can stop me from loving you. Your love is for the taking. Ooh, your love is a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling. Oh, so natural. That your love is a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling. Ooh, so natural. Thank you, Jah, for always being there. I can see how much you really care. Your love is everlasting. That's why I will always serve you. Could never put no one above you. Zionly Father, it's true. You know it's true. True loving is all I need from you, Jah. Rastafari. All I need from you. True loving to make my dreams come true. Make my dreams come true. Your love is a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling. Oh, it's so natural. That your love is a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling. Ooh, so natural. True loving is all I need from you, Jah. All I need from you. All I need. True loving. Make my dreams come true. Make my dreams come true. True loving.
True loving, true loving. Yes, 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 yes. Now, this is the kind of music I would like to hear some of the bands play. That sort of, lyrically.
Yeah,
Especially
music
when you
with
have younger people and older people in the van. You know,
Yeah,
something
man.
that could resonate with the sort of sanity we need in this country.
Yeah, man. Because right now the world need love, because only love can conquer hate, right?
Exactly. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So
And,
we
and
have
right
one.
now,
Jah bless the words that the make it flow. Acknowledge it's protected and the infant's faithful. Ooh, yeah. It's an everlasting work, working for the Lord. Never ending work. I'm working for my reward. It's an everlasting work, working for the Lord. Never ending work. Just the children been working hard. Anyway, just send me. I will have to go. Trotting down to Nineveh. Or Sodom and Gomorrah. Tomorrow. Couldn't be like Brother Jonah. Running from the work. When I'm working for Jah, the wicked have to get up and split. Remember Father Abraham, he was working for the Lord. Working for the Lord. Even Father Jacob was working for his God. And Solomon was working for the Lord. Moses and Aaron was working for the Lord. It's an everlasting work, working for the Lord. Never ending work, I'm working for my reward. It's an everlasting work, working for the Lord. Never ending work, just the children been working hard. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Every day is working day. That's how I get my pay. Can't afford to idle. No time to be lazy. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your bread. Please let the blind be led and the hungry man be fed. Remember Marcus Garvey, he was working for the Lord. Working for the Lord. Robert Istamai, he was working for his God. For his God. Martin Luther King was working for the Lord. See the prophet God man, his God. It's an everlasting work, working for the Lord. Never ending work, I'm working for my reward. Cause every day is work, every day is work, gotta keep working. Every day is work, every day is work, work and no work. Every day is work, every day is work, got to keep working. Work, every day is work, work and no work. Every day is work, every day is work, gotta keep working.
Yes, working for the Lord, working for the Lord. Now, I'm saying here that the all vehicle drivers, whether you're driving a van or what, or private vehicle, this is some of the music you should have on your stick. You know, when you play your music in your vehicles, especially when you want to have a calm feeling, upload some of this music. And the one there, youth man, put down your gun. I think that every van should play that tune probably once a
Yeah,
day. Passenger
yeah,
van. Spread
yeah,
that
because
music,
the
spread
tune
that
actually,
vibration.
yes, 'cause it is a meaningful song. It's relevant. Saying it's always gonna be relevant because it's always gonna be youths who gonna fall in some kind of trap. But Even this record now, Everlasting Work, Bishai. This song
Yes.
sums up. This song sums up my work in the music business or the music industry. Seeing
Uh-huh.
working for His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I first. That's why I see we have to sing these kind of lyrics because we have a duty and a purpose to sing meaningful songs of melody and upliftment to teach the nation, seeing the whole of the nation, young and old,
Truth.
good and
Hmm.
bad, you know?
Truth.
Yeah, so that is the energy that we are pushing, and we are just asking more of our countrymen and women to give an ear, help us to spread and share this good news, this good work, this lyrical content, not only of myself, but the other reggae artists them in St. Vincent, such as Abu Zanima, saying Yafa Tupaya, Kushandea, and all of the Vincentian youths them, we are push this reggae musical vibration. Saying,
Yes.
yeah,
I want to say something right here for the music, for reggae music, because that is part of it. That has all naturally that has been part of it from the time I first heard it. I realized that it's just a part of it that is not physically attached, but it's there, spiritually attached. We do
hmm
not have. I'm speaking about nationally now, and I'm not just speaking about the state. I'm speaking about everything, all the whole economy, the business, the private people, and the state, and we the people also. That are part of the government. We the people. We do not have enough functions and what I should say, opportunities and areas where reggae music is promoted. We don't relate our reggae music to our liberty too much. For example, how many reggae competitions do we have that promoting our agriculture and our food and our health and our sport? Attached. It needs some grouping of people to come up with these things and say, okay, like for example, we know that predial larceny is the biggest social problem in agriculture in St. Vincent. Have we ever had think about having a competition, a reggae competition on the topic predial larceny?
you know,
These are the kind of ideas that go through I'm an education all the time.
hmm
How
yeah,
much of
but
that promotes our food so that it could add to the whole tourism package and the whole international package of promotion of the country? These are the things I'm asking about.
yeah, because our artist is just as good as any, you know.
Of course, of
Uh,
course. And people use our raw material and develop on it and make tens and hundreds of million out of it, and we don't get the support here.
no, that's why I give thanks that I as a youth way I make my moves and I not just stagnant in a Vinci alone. We create the product and we export it abroad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have a couple minutes left on this half of the program. I wanted to tell I, first of all, as brief as I can, what motivates you to Mother Earth and that lovely green finger vibes that you have, your farming, because I see you promoting some lovely ital there. Okay? And
Yes. Well, first of all, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Seeing everything come from Mama Earth. Seeing
basic.
and I have always gravitated to the farming culture because even when I was going to primary school, they was teaching us these little agricultural things, like primary sign in the government school I used to go, and even some little
Hmm.
school where they teach you like you put a bean in a glass and you set it there, and the three things that that the plant needs, seed is air, water, sunlight, all of these things. So from them time, I had that kind of vibes for the earth and farming because it was instilled in me. And I wish and I would love to see that we take that back to school on that level again, starting the farming culture from the youths in school, teaching them certain little things about farming. And as I grow, before I go to America, I used to do a little herbs cannabis farming with one of my uncle in Bukomend region. I wasn't a big farmer, but as you grow, you learn, and you more in love, get more in love with nature. And then one of the things that make me know that me have to get into farming is to deal with food security.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we
Beautiful.
farm, we feed and what we grow. Plant a seed, we watch it grow, and we feed on it. And we pray that we can feed ourselves and help to feed the nation with
Yes.
healthy, with
Yeah.
healthy, with healthy organic farming. See, no
Beautiful.
pesticide, none of the side them. So to the people them can create commit suicide after you give them the pesticide and
Beautiful.
that side and
Beautiful.
the thing. Next thing you know, they create suicide. So we are promoting an ITAL Green Farm, SVG, ITAL farming, organic farming.
Where
See,
is that located?
in Layu Mountain. See,
Any specific
in the
name you
mountain
got
of
to call
Layu,
that
I
area?
think you call up the Levitts.
Levis.
Levitts.
What about the roadway? Tell us about the briefly the features of that area. You could drive
Well,
to that area?
well, you can drive to that area, but the road to that area, Bishai, is very deplorable.
Okay.
And it's been deplorable for years. So
Right.
it's not for the last 3 months. It's been deplorable. It's been deplorable for years upon years. And I as a youth, Bishop, I just go way up in the mountain. This different from where I just farm now. In the mountain of Bellwood region,
Yes,
right?
I
Way
know
to
of
the
that
top.
area.
That is where the SVG Cocoa people them now have the farm, but I just go by a spring name they call Lulu Stone. And when I go up there, right, Bishai, I see that during the NDP time, they make roads all the way up to the mountains, bridging, because you can see the proper roads that was built at least 30 plus years, almost 40 years ago. That most of it, you can see was proper road that was built to bring the produce for the farmers them from out of these mountains. And because of neglect, sin, and no maintenance, and rain and nature coming down, the whole place just get deplorable and washed away and things. So I pray that the Minister of Agriculture is, the word get to him, to pay some attention to all the roads them that goes to mountain with the farmers and the farming. I know it's not gonna be done like a snap of a finger because the new administration just get into office. So, but we just want to put out that word song that, please pay attention because we are the ones who gonna have to feed the nation. So, you know, pay us the attention that we need so we can feed our people. Because you see,
Beautiful.
the people, whoever is being fed by some outsiders, the outsiders can control them, And if we feed
Beautiful.
our people, we don't want to control our people. We are doing it straight from our heart.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
happy to see you growing one of the crops that one of the first foods that I love, not just like because I like a lot, I love. And unfortunately, one of the crops that has been on the down in terms of its yield per acre and its availability in this country, particularly over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about sweet potatoes.
Yeah, and when I farm sweet potatoes, Bishai, I just do real bountifully with them, and I give thanks. Cause a couple times that since we start doing the farming up there, yeah, the sweet potatoes they've been coming good for us, and we give thanks and we continue to plant that staple food because that is a very good food, really for black people, original food.
Yeah, well, why I'm happy is that this, and I don't know how many people have looked at it like this. We, through our expansion and development, has used a lot of sweet potato acreage that was available to us before 2010 in the construction of our international airport. Okay? That area
Mm-hmm.
used to be one of the major sweet potato producing areas. So we have to look for other areas now which have the same, what we will call agro ecozone, same features, and can bear sweet potatoes good. So here you
Mm-hmm.
are in an area which has the right mix of everything: soil, climate, sunlight, everything to grow potatoes. I am not certain how many acres are available up there, but the things like these, the ministry and the other people, the channel should look at, because we have to expand our sweet potato crop nationally.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever we have
Exactly.
niches like this in the country, there's where we have to promote the crop, because we cannot afford to allow our sweet potato production to go that low. We're getting
Mm-mm.
three sweet potatoes now for $8 in the market, and not just that.
Yeah, it's terrible, and the of it is poison too, if you ask me, because most of the farmer them is farming with poison. You can't
Right,
you can't be telling about organic farming.
right.
Because
Okay?
first thing people say now is money that I deal with. Yes, it's money we are dealing with, but what about health first?
They're not dealing with money.
Yeah?
They think they're dealing with money. They're fooling themselves, because the yields are lower, the quality is lower. When you buy potatoes now, you peel them. Well, first of all, you see a lot of stains on the outside, and you know that something is wrong with it.
Well,
And then when you
exactly.
peel it now, inside black,
Yeah,
because most of the
too much
things we have been
poison,
using in these crops over the last 10, 15 years is urea.
too much poison.
Not just too much poison. Sweet potato is a low nitrogen user, and
Mm-hmm.
urea is the highest percentage of nitrogen you could get in a fertilizer. You don't have anything else in urea but nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving the earth and the plant the wrong food. But then that decision is not made, or was not made by agriculturalists. It was made by politicians. So that is part of the philosophy that has to change to transform this country. You have to let the trained agriculturalists do their job.
Yes.
Some people, when they become politicians, they figure they know everything.
Yeah, they're not listening to the regular people again.
You know. Anyway, my brother, I want to thank you very much for coming on. Of course, you have to prepare yourself to come on sometime again, not too long, because we have to start to plan very early this year for ITEL Fest. ITEL Fest has to be one of the biggest festivals this year in this country.
Yeah, and we just want to say, yeah, we had a meeting already for the ITEL Fest, and ITEL Fest is on for 2026. And I just want to large up all the members and executive of the ITEL Fest family, even the vendors and the supporters of the ITEL Fest. See?
Beautiful,
Yeah, so
beautiful,
stay tuned, yeah, for more information. Forwarded soon for ITEL Fest 2026. See?
beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, my
Yeah,
brother.
man. We
Thanks
give
very
thanks
much.
to Shai. We give thanks for the Iron Monty for the
Yes, I.
opportunity to even, you know, promote
And
our
our
little
Cancari friends
music
in
and our
Canada.
vibes, you know. Huh?
And our Cancari friends in Canada, because you're live also in Canada and Cancari.
Yes, blessed Kankari family in Canada. Yeah, more love and light every time. And Ayman Patti Jr., the minister, and the Shashamani music family, say more love and more joy and happiness and respect to the Bayhill radio family. And we wish them enough success as a
Yes,
future
I.
approach, as a future approach to us. Yeah, more love and light every time. Safari and
Respect.
investment. Oh,
Yes, I.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Well, right now, we are feeling ever blessed. And after we feel ever blessed, we go into our break. So, ever blessed, song number one. And then we take our station's ID and the word from our sponsor. We come right forward and continue the program for the night. Yes, we must be ever blessed in this place. to have that kind of a skill there, produce skills producing these music. Yeah, we have to promote our people.
Yeah, oh, oh, must I guide the way? So here you know, nothing never easy about this. And dark days are gonna make you doubt it. Yeah, yeah. That's when your light shine the brightest. So here you know, even though the journey rough, we never worry. In the tough times when most of them are scurry, we still a stand up when heap of them a gang up. If you know you bless me, need see every hand up. Cause every test that me passing through, prepare me for the next phase me walking through. I know that if we believe it, yeah we can achieve, just as long as we walk with you. Cause when me trotting on this long road, must I have carried my load. When I come far from my home, was I still in a control? Everything ever blessed, know everything ever blessed. Love protect, guidance and protection from every direction. Shuffle up the order when you know it need correction. Never leave me side, stand by me like me bright and brighten up the nights and can't give up the fight, man. Cause when the things get heavy, that's when the most I make me feed them steady. Keep me focused when me feel me never ready. Thankful we never yet see the cemetery. Cause when me trotting on this long road, must I have carried my load. When I come far from my home, was I still in a control? Everything ever blessed, know everything ever blessed. Love protect, restore your meds, love life from telly. Positive action, them bad vibes be buried. Lead a good life, make a good choice. Though you never starve the food, fill your belly. And one fill the basket. Never make nobody tell you that you can't get. And even when life make you change your plans, never stress I want to kill you, go and make you strong. Cause when me trotting on this long road, must I have carried my load. When I come far from my home, was I still in a control? Everything ever blessed, know everything ever blessed. Love protect, even though the journey rough, we never worry. In the tough times when most of them are sorry, we still a stand up when heap of them a gang up. If you know you bless me, need see every hand up. Cause every test that we passing through, prepare we for the next phase we walk into. And God that if we believe it, yeah we can achieve, just as long as we walk with you. Cause when me trotting on this long road, must I have carried my load. When I come far from my home, was I still in a control? Everything ever blessed, know everything ever blessed. Love protect.
Yes, now we go to the stations to get some station ID and a word from our sponsors.
You can make your donation to Bayhill News Network care of Montgomery, Cubit, Bayhill, Cane Garden, Republic Bank account 200-00011-6899 PayPal https://paypal.me/Bayhill Newsnet or Western Union/MoneyGram Montgomery, Cubit, Bayhill, Cane Garden telephone 1784-529-8340. Thank you.
Bayhill News Network presents Inside Health, a 30-minute program in which we explore the human body and functions. We'll share real-life stories and the latest in medical science as we look at related diseases, conditions, and determinants of health that affect quality of life. So join me, Ben Abbott, on Wednesday evenings from 8:30 for Inside Health on Bayhill News Net, also on CANCARDIRADIO.INFO. It's the Vin Abbott Show with news, views, and interviews. The music in the mix on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Cancardi Radio.
Join your host, Ross Bishai, for Stepping into the Light at Bayhill Online Radio and Concardi Radio. Ross Bishai steps into the light of food and agriculture, culture and liberty. Stepping into the light lifts the level of your self-consciousness, activates your collective security genetic code, raises your earthly vibration. To win in this Armageddon, you must listen to Stepping into the Light with host Ross Bishai. Yes, and we are stepping into the light and we are giving you the biodynamic gardening, planting by the moon phase guide for the period Wednesday, 4th March. Yes, we are marching. And, we are marching. Last time we were with you was quite in February, and that wasn't too long ago. Now we are into March, and March is marching. By tomorrow it will be the fourth day until next Tuesday, 10th March, 2024. So as I said, today is in the cosmos a very important day. The moon was full since early morning hours, 3:33, right? Yes, AM. And you can see it in the aeration tonight. You won't have this type of moon again for the next 80 years, 80 odd years, right? But tomorrow, as after every full moon, you enter the phase of the moon phase called the waning gibbous. Yesterday it was waxing gibbous. Today it's full moon. Tomorrow it's waning gibbous. Still looking big, but already started waning. And you would see it more so goes right up for the whole week. For the whole week until next Tuesday, right? In this phase of the moon is the best time to plant like what the brothers planting, the below ground crops, right? Both root crops, roots and vegetables, anything that bear below ground. So in our program to come soon this year, and it should have started if the system was ready for it and ready to hit the ground running. Like now, well, probably would have been harvesting now. But in this phase of the moon, we would have been looking to plant a few of the imported root vegetables and other things that we have, like carrots. We import a lot of carrots, which we should not be doing. Absolutely not. Not given the history and the record of this country, where we were a net exporter of carrots, net producer, had enough to satisfy ourselves many times and to export commercially to the region. That we will deal with in a later time. But this is the time of the phase of the moon to plant these things: carrots, onion, garlic, Irish potato, sweet potatoes, edos, tanya, dasheen, cassava, arrowroot. Yes, if things were organized properly, if things were organized properly, this would be one of the times, probably the last time for the year until the next crop. This phase where arrowroot would have been planted. Maybe even as late as the next phase after this, coming end of April. But certainly this would have been one of the times. Okay? It's also a good time to plant trees, shrubs, and perennials, meaning things that will grow for over 100 years. Okay? It's an excellent time to harvest all crops. Excellent time. Good time to fertilize the soil and also to fertilize the plants. Two different things. You fertilize the plants mainly with liquids by adding things to their foliage, but you fertilize the soil when you put fertilizer in it. And then the microbes in the soil break down the fertilizer and feed the soil now feed the roots of the plants, and the plants feed the roots, take it up and feed the plant, and so the plant makes what it has to make to feed you, to feed I and I. It's a good time to transplant any seedlings you have, and it's also a good time to mow lawns and to prune. So if you have your lawn or your garden to cut, this is a good time to get someone, whether it's a weed eater or a weed whacker or whatever it is, and or hand or whatever it is, good time to do those things. You have things to prune, good time to do that. So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday the 6th, Saturday the 7th, Sunday the 8th, Monday the 9th, Tuesday the 10th. Tuesday the 10th would be the last quarter. Okay? After that, the moon changes its phase again. So when you come next time, you'll hear what phase that moon goes into. But for this time, make sure that you use this week to do something. And for those people, because you got in a pay, you got in a little moisture in order to could plant, right? Those people who are in the area and you have a little, even even 12 holes, 10 holes, 11 holes, 7 holes, 5 holes, you could plant a little potato, save some of that money you're spending buying potatoes now, which are very expensive in the market and not of the best quality. Get a couple cut in somewhere, right? Plant them in this week. Keep a little home garden going, whatever it is. In some countries, people even use containers to plant these things, like bags and so on. But we have good earth here. Once in an area where you could do it, why not do it? So put something in the earth anyway. You have seedlings to transplant of any type of seedlings. This week is excellent to do that. Excellent to do that. Make sure you put something in the earth. Make sure you plant up the land. Plant up the land. Yes. Tell them. Plant up the land. Song number two. Plant up the land. When we come forward, we get into some serious reasoning.
Bow, bow, biddy, bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. The race ain't for the swift, it is for those who will endure till the end, till the end. Some try leading one astray, seek wisdom from today, my friend, my friend. They're crying food shortage, and things are getting dread, getting away. Yeah, hey, hey. Don't let it get in your head, man. Don't only live by bread, but by the word. That's what he said. Put on your armor, trot along. Become a farmer, plant up all the land. Don't let time go to waste. Every day make a way. Grow food and garden. Plant cassava, green banana, mango, pawpaw, and sweet potato. Sourdough, turmeric, herb, ginger, moringa. Corn and breadfruit, shadow, belly, arrow. Veggie provisions and all kind of fruit. May the work of your hands flourish and go far. May the work of your hands be blessed and prosper. And as the plants they grow, we grow in, be blessed and prosper. is the matter? Berries many color, watermelon, sweet pepper, cherry, and guava. Berries many color, watermelon, sweet pepper, cherry, and guava. The guava, the guava, plant cassava, green banana, mango, pawpaw, and sweet potato, flower, tamarind, herbs, ginger, moringa, banana, breadfruit, shadow, belly, arrowroot, veggie provisions, and fruit. May the work of your hands flourish and go far. May the work of your hands be blessed and prosper. May the berries many colors, watermelon, sweet pepper, cherry, and guava. The guava, the guava, plant cassava, green banana, mango, pawpaw, and sweet potato, flower, tamarind, herbs, ginger, moringa, banana, breadfruit, shadow, belly, arrowroot, veggie provisions, and fruit. May the work of your hands flourish and go far. May the work of your hands be blessed and prosper. May the work of your hands be blessed and prosper. By the fruit, may the work of your hands flourish and go far. May the work of your hands be blessed and prosper. May the work of your hands be blessed and prosper.
Yes, we're here again. Yes, we're here again. Just some glitches, some little technical glitches. People, we'll overcome them. You know, we have these challenges here. We'll overcome them. They're not going to hold our program up for any long time. So, yes, we said plant up the land. That's what we're saying. And now we're going to look at some specific things in the time we have left on the program. First of all, food prices and foodability, particularly vegetables in this country, are at the ridiculous stage right now. And this is not something that just started to happen. This is something that has been there for quite some time. It's just manifesting more now. The reality is just manifesting more now. Okay? Has nothing to do with the lack of or anything of much, much of it of the present administration. However, we must say, as some of the smart school children are saying all over the country, particularly in the whole of the leeward side, that they, in their opinion, there was sufficient time in opposition for some basic planning to have taken place where some sketch program should have been there to hit the ground running with. And I have to agree with them. Yes, because we know that the work we have to do to correct what has been going bad for at least 20 last 20 years is a lot of work and it will take time. So we have to prepare ourselves as people who used to go to these organizations in the early days, guides and scouts and so on, and cadets. They say, be prepared. That was one of the motto. Even people who didn't go to these things, because a lot of these things were, mainly come from the colonial mass in a way. Even people who were just vigilant in a way will always be prepared. You have to prepare yourself. And that is why in the biodynamic gardening system, a day like today, full moon, is when you rest, you celebrate, and you meditate. Meditate is when you're preparing yourself, you know? And then going forward, and like our people used to do before, they gather community, they gather somewhere, whether it's like a moonlight light like tonight under the moonlight somewhere, and they reason among themselves and plan something. What are we going to do with this? How are we going to do it? Who going to do it? When they going to do it? All those things are preparing themselves. So the feeling among our people, one of the feelings, the younger ones in particular, but several of the older ones too, is that during the time in opposition, the present government individuals should have had some once because the confidence was there among the people that change was going to take place. They didn't know the magnitude of it, but they know change was going to take place. Because the longest roof has an end. So prepare yourself as to you don't have to go into much detail what you're going to jumpstart the thing with to hit the ground running. You know, your quick march, you're off rather than standing at attention or even standing at ease. Yes. So those are some of the things because right now you go to supermarket shelves and you see the amount of imported vegetables they are there, which have been grown here before and can grow here. Even some of them should be grown for exportation in the region. Apart from carrots as a fresh vegetable, we don't have much history of the exportation of fresh vegetables to the region. One of the reasons in the past 10 years or so, up to the past 10 years, is that we did not have the regularity of having international and regional flights to take out these things with that kind of facility. And we built one supposedly to do that, and it's not been used for that because there are no vegetables to do that. As a matter of fact, vegetables come the other way. And we import things like cabbage, where it's so costly that if you go to a supermarket now, you would find them selling cabbage by the pieces, not by the whole one. You can't buy whole cabbage in supermarket. It's ridiculously expensive. So they cut them and package them in different things. A country like this one, with the natural blessings that we have, the natural gifts that we have, soil, climate, that sort of thing, the knowledge of our people, we should not be importing cabbage in this country. Period. Yeah, we should not be importing cabbage. Knowing what we know and doing what we could do. That money should be going to the farming sector instead of sending it out to other farmers outside. That should be staying right here and circulating right here. That's just one of the commodities. Okay? When we look at the prices for vegetables in the market and foods, we're talking again like the same sweet potato have to keep on happening that because sweet potato in for decades has been one of the most stable crops we have in this country. As I said, my first job, paid job in agriculture, was to register sweet potato farmers. I was 16 years old at the time, 16 going 17. I worked on a short, I think it was 17, yes. I worked on an August vacation with the Marketing Corporation. Mr. Seeley. But even before that, sweet potato was my number one food growing up. You couldn't give me any food without having sweet potato in it in some form. That was the popularity of the food in those days. Our tropical, as we call them. That is one of the main things that they took down to Trinidad and other places. One of the main things that the marketing corporation organized and exported. So how come we reach to a level now where you have to pay $5 for two, three sweet potatoes if you could get, and nobody want to sell it less than $8 because the price at the farm is so high, the farm gate. Because where the farmer used to get 10 sacks, you only getting 4.5 to 5 now. That's the truth. Yields at the farm gate have gone down. And that is just for one crop. It has gone down for many crops. And it has gone down for many crops because we are not allowing the extension people to extend the real science to the farmers. The help doesn't go again. They don't get that support. We do not put in budgeting enough money, sufficient money into research and development. The research division of the ministry, you look at the budget for the last 10, 15 years, and it has not gone up anywhere. So as a matter of fact, it has gone down because until recently, just until recently, for 2 decades or more, the philosophy was not to promote agriculture, just to talk about it. But the seriousness of the promotion was not there. And it's only if you look closely and be a part of it, you will realize that. Just talk, talk. Everybody talking the talk, but nobody walking the walk. This is a different time. And we have come to realize, among several things, the real importance of food. There's nothing more important than food on this earth. You know? Nothing more important. The cost and the availability of food. So we have these high prices all over, and they're looking like they will go up in some certain cases. And low yields. And we have to address these things. These things must be addressed and addressed properly. We have, I'm stating the major problem, then I'm going to go and say how we should approach in solving them. The minister, again, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, again, I saw a post up yesterday about the problems that the government, his ministry is having with the 600 daily paid workers who are daily paid but not daily, who don't do daily work. You get me, right? A lot of them seem to have been just wait sent to wherever the workplace is by the politician in charge at the time, whoever that person would have been, with any specific reason for having them there to work. So right now, more than half of them are totally non-productive. Some are very productive. Those you would have to keep. But what I gather from what has been said is that the majority are non-productive. They haven't really worked as such in the real meaning of the word work. And the government is finding a problem now addressing that issue. That issue can be solved reasonably easily. Okay? There are people here who know what to do, our local people, and there seems to be some reluctance in hiring and utilizing our trained local people to be a decisive part of problem solving. I'm saying what I'm seeing, and I'm saying what other people are saying and see it also. There is too much forced reliance on outside organizations and outside people. Like if these people are of a higher level than the local people, and they have not proven anything like that. As a matter of fact, to the converse, the theory, they have done worse in many cases than what they're supposed to do. Right? We also have a case where some people want to bring in, introduce here in this country some new fruit. A fruit which has never grown here before, has not been tested, and they want to bring it in as though that will solve our problem. St. Vincent and Grenada has historically been the two fruity countries in this region. We have so many fruits here, but our fruit sector has been destroyed mainly deliberately by an attempt to stultify our agriculture in order to promote a one peg economy, which is based in tourism, where the majority of the investment is not owned by Vincentians, the greater majority. So we only come like the hewers of wood and the carriers of water in this industry. Whereas in agriculture, our people could gain direct money from the consumers very often and raise the standard of living and raise the income, right? But the system which controls the politicians in these countries, that's the way you see CARICOM has so much confusion about it right now, is that they take orders. These 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 pipers take orders from the people who call the tune. And if they say keep agriculture down and promote that, they don't have the spine individually or collectively to say no. We have to utilize and raise the level of standard and nutrition in our country and utilize our basic natural resources and promote what we're supposed to promote. So we find that the sector having been neglected for so long now, is struggling to reach where it reach. And the people, the local people who have the ability and knowledge to correct these things have been marginalized and discarded for so long that they have taught our people a sort of a false sense of identity, like other people outside better than them. So anybody open their mouth and say they want to bring something here, they get a big applause, hardly knowing that this is one of the techniques that has been used over the several decades now to introduce into our region destructive exotic pests and diseases. Yes, that's the technique they use. We're not going down that road again, period. We don't care who the government is and who these people are. We, the people, are not going down that road again. We have to fix the problems affecting our local and our locally produced fruits first. So never mind what kind of pretty pictures you put on Facebook and skin up your teeth and say, that ain't coming here, bro. No, that's straight up. This is a different time we are in, completely different time we are in. We have fruit that are pretty loved internationally. You just have to care them. And when you travel and you go around to other markets, regionally and internationally, they don't have the quality fruits that we have, that we're capable of producing. Up to 20 years ago, there was nobody in this region. The only people who got to compete with us in terms of quality of mangoes were people in India and a few other people out there. Nobody else. Now our mangoes joke now. We got our mangoes destroyed. All the talk you used to hear them talking about kiwi fruit and all these things. I'm not saying kiwi fruit is not good. They couldn't compete with our sapodilla. But what? We allow these trees to get destroyed and cut down without replanting them and without expanding the production. Absolutely no one, not even Jamaica, could produce quality breadfruit like us. None. You see, I talking about what is on the international market. That's where the competition is. Nobody support these fruits. Plums. Our plums we call Beckwith plums and Jamaica and the Jamaica plum. We were right up there too. Then our golden apple, which they call June plum. People start demoting our golden apple and trying to produce a different little dwarf tree. And then say they're bringing things like wax apple, which has absolutely no nutrition. None at all. Nothing at all. You go on the trade, international trade, and it doesn't feature as a major commodity anyway. Doesn't even have seed. Not even birds eat it. When you see bird now pick a fruit, as you clearly say, something wrong with that. You know? So we have too many fruits here. Our guavas are not even going to our citrus yet, which has been destroyed totally. There's only one day in time you could find lemons, if you find any. And it's two medium size and a small and a bag for $5. Things that we used to take for granted a generation ago, you know? So let us fix the problems affecting our fruits first before we say we're bringing in any fruits from anyone else. Because the same people who want to bring in these fruits, they've been here for 4 decades. They experimented fruits and they have not commercialized any of the fruits that they experimented with. Not as one person growing any fruit here that they experimented commercially. Things that we thought that we would have been producing now at a commercial level like grapes, all the experimentation data is outside of this country. Nobody here growing grapes at a commercial level. But yet they were able to use our country to develop technology which are now being used in their countries and countries near to them. No, sir, you're not bringing any new fruit here at all. We don't need it. We don't want it. I don't. We the people, we the consumers, we the people who not just the consumers, the watchers of our agricultural sanity and phytosanity in this country. We're not going down that road again. Period. And nothing to do with politics. That it is a national issue of national significance. Okay? This is a matter of our safeguarding our country and making sure that we're not going down that road which we have been down where we introduce unwittingly some new disastrous pests and disease into our country. We're not going down that road. Let us fix the ailments and challenges facing our present fruit. Papaya, all these things need fixing right now, right now. Mangoes, right now, our our Julie mangoes are flowering, a lot of them, but already you can see on the clusters the effect of the seed weevil. Too many young ones are falling off of the clusters. So in a bunch where you used to get 7, 8, 9, 10 mango, now you only get in 4 and 5 because of the activity of the seed weevil that we have to get control of. and eliminate. Yes, these are some of the things that we're going down the road in, right? So here you have in this National Heroes Month. National Heroes Month, this is what this month is. We're 3 days into it. This is the month dedicated to appreciate love and big up people who have made and are making a sterling contribution to the development of this country. People who have made and people who are making, and those even setting the stage for those who will make in the future. National Heroes Month. And I will speak a little later about our Garifuna family who are coming in here shortly. By the end of this week, start coming to take part and participate in that activity. And we have to use this month to reverse the psychology that our people are second or third to anyone else. So that we must not marginalize our professional people in any sphere and think that foreigners in some way are different than us, particularly if they have a different hue in terms of skin or a different hair texture than us, that they're any better than us or more knowledgeable or anything like that. When in most cases it's the reverse. We are the ones who have to solve our problems. So our governments from now on have to utilize more of our local talent and local people going forward in solving these problems. And forget about any little petty ism or schism here or there. Totally forget these things. And our professionals have to be professional also going forward. That's the only way we're going to make it out of this darkness. For those who still lingering in the darkness. At the same time, our people with that skill and who have found themselves in that have to come together and start putting their skills together and their wills together and their ideas together to make sure that we stay one step ahead of them and always our heads out of the water. We have, imagine we have a program here. We have 600 youth employed, as they say, employed on the P list then. And more than half of them ain't doing nothing. And it's been going on for some time. And they only did because the politician send them there to work. To work, but not with any specific work agenda or description. So they get up and they reach where they reach. They have to go early, they just linger. And at the end of the week or the fortnight or the month, they get they pay like everybody else. And some people call that progress and development. At the end of the year, when you look at it, the agricultural export earning is just 26 cents out of every $100 that comes in here. That don't make they don't make any sense or sense. None at all. And this is some of the foolishness we have to come out of. This is some of the foolishness we have to come out of. And we have to come out of it very fast. Simple way, simple way. I'm not going to give some details, but a simple way to get rid of this problem. You separate those who actually working, producing something, from those who not working, have any specific work. Those who not working, you question them and ask them if they have a job description, what they're supposed to be doing in that. Basically, those who have none, you put one to them, you put it to them, and you give them a time limit to make sure that things get in order. Not any long-term limit. Neither not too short, but just enough for them to have the time to change from that neutral gear there into to get into some moving gear. If by the end of that time you're not compliant, then you have no choice. You just face the music. You get rid of them, send them to get some training somewhere before they could re-enter that circle again. 'Cause you can't waste our natural our government or national money like that by paying people who are not producing anything. Neither this training or the delivering. When we know we need trained people in at every area, particularly in our agricultural sector and in every district, farmers should be able to call a number and say, look, I have a half acre of land to clear before the week is out so that I could transplant these things. I need 4 workers or 3 workers or whatever it is. I'm willing to pay. And the office says, okay, this is the rate, such and such. We'll be sending 4 people and have 4 reliable people who get there on time and do the work properly. And from what I've been hearing from people who get a few people to come for them, the people who work more than half the time they're supposed to be working, they get there when they feel like and they leave when they feel like. The shabbiness cannot go on. No. So that is just the outline of, you know, getting rid of that challenge, getting rid of that obstacle there, you know? Yes. Because it's forward we have to go. And nothing should stop our forward move in this time. If we are going to achieve the goal, the main goal we say we're going to achieve, which is cutting our food import bill by 25% by 2030. Remember, it was supposed to be cut by the end of last year, 25, that gone. We ain't, as a matter of fact, most countries haven't cut anything. They've added, including this one, right? We have to do better. I am glad to hear some farmers saying that the service at the station at Wally Labu for the people in North Leeward has improved. We hope this is not a one shot and this is something that is going to happen all the time. But as pointed out in a recent Facebook post by no other a farmer than Mr. Lennox Lampkin, very outstanding person in the farming community, that facility is totally underdeveloped and underutilized. For the facility that it used to be 30 years ago, and it can be now with new technology and new knowledge and so on, that facility needs some investment by some private sector who has the interests of our people at heart, not somebody who come to exploit our people, but somebody who comes to hold hand, harmonize with our people, and go forward together. Okay? So that the needs of the farmers north of that could be met right there without them having to come to Kingston for anything at all. Yes, and that can be done easily. These are some of the things that I would like to sit down with the people and reason about. In the meantime, I have been working on certain things and it's supposed to bear fruit. That is why you have to stick to these 2 stations to listen. We're coming very, very, very soon because where this country has to go, responsible private and non-governmental people, people who are not non-systems people, because government is of the people also. So the people's government have to be jointly involved in the going forward in this country. It's no more sitting back and waiting. We have done that too long. In some cases, we have to take the lead and set the pace. You know why? Because we have dreams of brighter days. We have dreams of brighter days. So, as we listen to the music, we wish you all the best for the week. Keep listening to Bayhill Radio. Whatever contribution you have to make, and you should make, you have that information out there. Send the money to Monty. Send the money to the station. Yes, dreams of brighter days.
Mercy, these are the things I see. Are depend of me. So I give thanks and life. As the days go by, out comes the sun, shining on my face again. Words get me high, high so I can meditate. Oh, dreams of brighter days. Highest grades we blaze. Dreams of brighter days. Giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Giving thanks a lot. As the day goes by, giving thanks and praise. As I open my window and glance through my window, I realize there's no turning back. Oh, got to complete life's journey, though things get contrary. Oh, got to make it to the top. See, I'm searching for a way to survive. Working so hard, I know job will provide. Oh, see, oh, I'm keeping my head high. Mama tell me the limit is the dreams of brighter days. Highest grades we blaze. Dreams of brighter days. Giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Giving thanks as the days goes by, giving thanks and praise. It's burden heavy, but still a check down. Weary, but no watch this school face where we have on. Real soldiers keep standing. Now give up the fight. The sun will shine tomorrow. We shall see the rainbow, and I will never let go. No. Dreams of brighter days. Highest grades we blaze. Dreams of brighter days. Giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. As the day goes by, giving thanks and praise. Out comes the sun, shining on my face again.
Yes, out comes the sun, and may the words of my man mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah Rastafari. Until next Tuesday, by the will of the Almighty Creators and the guidance of our ancestors, have a most productive week, a productive, strong. We're into March, keep March. Remember, it's National Heroes Month. Try and be a national hero. Yes, Exodus. Join your host, Ross Bishai, for Stepping into the Light at Bayhill Online Radio and Cancari Radio. Ross Bishai steps into the light of food and agriculture, culture and liberty. Stepping into the light lifts the level of your self-consciousness, activates your collective security genetic code, raises your earthly vibration. To win in this Armageddon, you must listen to Stepping into the Light with host Ras Bishai
Traveling to St. Vincent, need to get around? Crystal Connection Car Rental. Telephone 1784-529-9120 or email crystaldanielle91@gmail.com. Book your economy rental car today.
Bayhill News Network presents Inside Health, a 30-minute program in which we explore the human body and functions. We'll share real-life stories and the latest in medical science as we look at related diseases, conditions, and determinants of health that affect quality of life. So join me, Vin Abbott, on Wednesday evenings from 8:30 for Inside Health on Bayhill News Net, also on CANCARDIRADIO.INFO.
You can make your donation to Bayhill News Network, care of Montgomery Cubit, Bayhill, Cane Garden Republic Bank account 200-00011-6899, PayPal https://paypal.me/Bayhill Newsnet or Western Union /MoneyGram, Montgomery Cubit, Bayhill, Cane Garden. Telephone 1784-529-8340. Thank you.
It's the Vin Abbott Show with news, views, and interviews.